Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm Belinda Sandor. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm your host, Belinda Sandor, and I'm excited to get started with you today. We're going to talk about how to show your clients what you're capable of, right? How to show them what you're capable of beyond what they already know. Really important and not difficult to do. So I'm going to be your host for this lesson from the cockpit, where we're going to provide tactical and practical information, and we do this every single week, same time, same channel. So I hope you'll add us to your calendar and start to join us on a regular basis. So I'd love to hear where you're coming in from in the chat. So let me know who's here, who's coming in. And I want you to know that Lessons from the Cockpit is brought to you by the VA Connection. And at the VA Connection, we work with new, aspiring, and established virtual assistants to help them build thriving businesses. And we do this in our free online community, our courses, and our coaching programs. So if you're not a part of our community, come on over to the VA Connection. Just search on Facebook, or you can go to our brand new website that I'm very excited about, thevaconnection.com, and learn more about us and start to reap all the benefits of the community right there. So again, today we're going to talk about how to let your clients know what you're capable of. It's because it's really important that it's important that they know, because it's a way to get deeper, more meaningful relationships with your clients and more work from someone you already enjoy working with, right? So it's a win-win-win. So before we dive in, let me introduce myself, and then I'm going to scoot on over to the chat and see who's here. So please, there's a lot of you here. Say hello. Okay, we are streaming this episode on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and multiple places on Facebook. So if you're watching us on YouTube, click the subscribe button so that you'll be notified every time we go live. Okay, good. So this is me and my little delicious daughter, Emily, and this is 2010 when she was 9 years old, and I was just starting out as a VA. And we had a lot going on. It was a very tumultuous time, a hectic time, and a challenging time. It was absolutely a challenging time. I was completely overwhelmed. I was going through a divorce. I was a newly single mom. I was overwhelmed, uncertain, like all the things that I would rather never be as both an introvert and, someone who likes to have things in control, like a lot of you, right? And I didn't have a job. I had a ton of debt. Emily and I moved 3 times in 4 years before we found, the right school district for her and the right safe neighborhood. And it was really challenging. And I knew that getting a job was not going to work for me, because my jobs were always, they weren't 9 to 5. They were like 9 to 7, 9 to 8. And I wanted to be there with Emily. It took me a long time to have her, and I didn't want to miss out on that. I wanted to be her mom, and I was turning 50, and for some reason, I put a lot of pressure on myself about where I should be at 50. So in addition to the actual things that are going on, that like I don't have a job, I have all this debt, haven't been able to pay the mortgage for over a year, I have the chicken chatter in my head of where I should actually be, which is really beating myself up. But I worked through it. I was determined to try. And I decided that I was going to do admin work. And no one really knew what a virtual assistant was back then. And but I just started telling everyone that I knew, I can do admin work. I can help you. And I got my first client at the school bus stop. One of the dads, one day he said, "What's new?" And I said, I'm starting a business." And he's like, "What is it?" And I said, "I'm doing admin work." And his entire face changed. He was like, "What?" Because he had started a business. He was drowning in administrative details, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to get help. And I was the solution to his problem, like I tell you guys all the time. And we decided to work together, and I paid his bills, and I cleaned out his email inbox. I knew Quicken and QuickBooks, so I set that up for him. Things that were so helpful for him and so easy for me were really important. My next client I got in a wedding buffet line. We were talking, chatting, and he gave me his business card. I connected him with him on LinkedIn, which I've told you guys, it felt like I was asking him to marry me. I was so shy about reaching out to people. I didn't want to bother them. And a few weeks later, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have a project. Can you help me with it?" And we've been working together ever since. That's 12 years, right? So you really never know where your clients are, but I'll tell you where they're not. They're not cold calling. You're not going to find them cold calling. You're not going to find them reaching out to strangers. You're not going to probably find them trolling for them on social media. You might find them on social media with someone you're already connected with that you know, but strangers generally are not good clients for us. So fast forward. I've been in business now for 12 years, since 2010. I have worked with over 225 clients, and I've made $1 million. And how I did that was, the first year I was in business, I earned $70,000 doing VA work. And then from there, my business took off even further, and I made $100,000 a year for the next 10 years. And it's been great. It's been a really great lifestyle, and it's allowed me to have this relationship. Greg lived 3 hours away from me when I met him, and I should say re-met him. We went to high school together, and I lived in Boston. He lived in Connecticut, where I live now with Emily. And I was able to move around. I was able to come down here on the weekends. I was able to work from here during Emily's spring break. So there was a lot of flexibility in my lifestyle, because he had a job where he had to go to New York every day. It was, an hour and 15-minute commute, and not a lot of flexibility in terms of he had to show up every day, where I could do my work. I could earn the money that I wanted to earn, but I could do it, in my home in Connecticut, or I could do it at his home. I'm sorry, my home in Boston, or his home in Connecticut. And I have worked in the car. I've worked, all over the place. So it really is a great lifestyle. And it's given me the ability to take hold of my finances in a way that I really didn't think possible, to get rid of the credit card debt, to start saving, and to really turn a corner for myself, where I wasn't always worried about minimum payments and having my cell phone turned off, which happened pretty regularly back then. And you can imagine how defeating that feels, to have, the money be that tight that, you're just always on edge, really always on edge. All right, so let's say hello and see who is here. Okay, so Carrie's here. Hello, Carrie. Good morning. Svetlana's here. Hello from South Africa. Clara's here. Hello. Let's see. Hello from Iowa. Hello from Iowa. We've got some Iowa and Indiana, Southern Indiana. So we've got the Midwestern contingency. Hello, Frederica from Amsterdam, rainy in Amsterdam. And hello from, whoops, that just jumped. Hello from Colorado. Hello from Texas. Hello, hello. And Stewart, Florida. That's great. Hello, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad you're here. All right, so let's, and then we've got Alexis from Virginia. That's where my daughter's headed this morning. She's going back to school. Very exciting. All right. So what I want to talk about, I want to talk about how to let clients know what you're capable of. So let's say, a client hires you, and you're doing their email newsletter, right? And you're clipping along and you're doing it. And they have no idea that you know how to do bookkeeping, or you know how to format documents, or you know how to set up credit card processing, or you know how to do, a wide variety of things. It just never occurs to them. They see you in, in maybe a narrow lane, not having a wider variety of skills. So it's important for you to let them know about that. And there's some ways to do it that are not sales, that are not uncomfortable, and we're going to walk through that, because you really want to make sure that, a client doesn't bring someone else on the team and you realize you could have done that and they had no idea. You can imagine that would be an unhappy moment. So the first thing I want to talk about is this concept of turning your business into a display case. Now, I've talked about that a lot before, but what it does is it allows you to set yourself up in business in a way that builds a strong foundation for you and offers this display case at the same time. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring my website over here. I have it ready to go over here. Let's just drag it over here. And I'm going to show you how I've created a display case here, okay? So the first thing, let's actually go back to the home page, okay? So here's my Rocket Girl Solutions website, my virtual assistant business website. And here I talk about, right here, I talk about all of the different things that I can do. I talk about how, a lot of my clients used to have a job. They had a support system. When they go out on their own, that goes away. And so it's a little story in a way that they can relate to. They're like, oh yeah, that's what happened to me, right? And then we have a testimonial right here, which is also great. Now, the services page is important because you want to put as many things here as possible, but you want to do it in a clear, concise way, and you want to organize it by category, okay? Because if you just have this giant long list of things, it would be hard to read through. And by categorizing them, you're moving them through, clumps of skills. So here I've got technology set up. I've got marketing and communications, managing the day-to-day, product promotion, e-commerce. And then I also tell them that if you need some research done, I can do that as well. Okay. So you want to look at your services page, especially when you're starting out every couple of months or so, because you're going to learn new skills all the time. And you want to make sure that they're represented there. So having them on your services page is really important. Now, if you want to take this one step further, we'll talk about testimonials. Okay. So here, what I've done is I've asked clients for testimonials. I try to get them to put them on LinkedIn, and then I copy them and put them on my website as well. But here you can see, people gushing about specific things that I can do. Okay. So here, Rosalind is talking about newsletters, surveys, organize my business, website, partner, all of these different things. So it's a really nice way for people to read about you, to read about your, a little bit of your personality, your work style, things like that. But if you want to take that one step further, because really what you want to do is you want your clients and your potential clients to see themselves in what you're offering. Like, oh, I could use that too. I could use that too. So I want to talk about something, it's called case studies. Now, case studies makes it sound like this big giant thing. Let me make myself smaller. Okay. So in this instance, a case study is nothing more than taking a testimonial and then writing the other side of it. So let me explain. Okay. So here is the testimonial right here. Okay. Whoops. Right here. Here's the testimonial. Here it is. Here's the testimonial. And then I wrote, I further explained what I did for the client. Okay. So in this case, Richard Cohen says, Belinda was a crucial factor in making my webinar successful. She helped me get organized, handled the logistics, expertly managed all the technical aspects. While I conducted the event, as a bonus, she's warm, a delight to work with. I couldn't recommend her more highly. Okay. So there's the client gushing, right? So then what I did was I spent a few minutes and I added more detail, right? Added more detail. So what I wrote was here's what I did. I established a webinar program from scratch for a solo consultant. So I'm saying who, and I'm saying more specifically what. In addition to setting up registration, promotion, email confirmation messaging, and money flow. So see how there's more detail. He's saying she set it up. It's like set what up? Okay, all of those pieces. I acted as the primary point of contact for the session attendees. Prior to the event, I trained my client on the use of the system and managed the back end during the live event. All right, so you can see where by telling these stories, clients can potentially see that. Okay, I mean they can understand more detail. Now you are welcome to go to my website, Rocket Girl Solutions. It's my virtual assistant business, and this is under Meet Rocket Girl case studies. So you can go there, and there's several of them, and you can read them and understand how you can use this, to really share with people what else you can do. Now I have a bunch of them here. Do three. 3 is fine, to start. Then in a couple of months, or in a year, add some more. You don't have to have 5 to start with. Okay. So that's important as well. Now, in addition to showing them my website, you guys also know that I regularly publish a newsletter. So that's something that the clients and potential clients have in their inbox all the time, which is really important because a couple of things happen with the newsletter. One, they can see my skill in producing a newsletter. And the other thing is that they can learn about what I know how to do because I'm writing about it in my newsletter. So if I write an email newsletter about how to keep your inbox clean, or how to set up, or why taking credit cards is important, or any of those kinds of topics, then what happens is they see how my brain works, they see what I'm writing about, they learn from it, and they also see that I can produce email newsletters. And the result was that I have consistently had many clients that I have done email newsletter work for. And it's nice because it comes, every month, every 2 weeks, however often they publish. And those clients are really easy to manage because they don't need you for more than a couple hours a month. So you can have a lot of them. And so you're not reliant on one or two people to bring all your income in. So if one of them goes away, it's not a big deal. And that's an important thing to understand when growing your VA business, is that you don't want to be reliant on one or two people. I know many of you think, I want to get 3 solid clients, but there's no such thing as a solid client. The other day, one of my clients who has historically paid me between $17,000 and $20,000 for years, he's not going to do he's retiring. He's retiring. And if I had put so many eggs in that one basket, that could have devastated my business. I wouldn't have been able to recover. But because I've always had so many clients and I'm always bringing people in and working on this and working on that, yes, I'm going to miss working with him, but it's not going to put me in a position where I can't pay the rent. It's absolutely not going to do that. So you want to be really careful about how you get hired and who you work with and what you wish for, right? What you wish for. The other thing about the email newsletter is by writing it out, the work that you do, it helps you formulate what you think and what you believe, and it helps you be a better speaker, I think, for sure. It definitely does. So there's other ways to do this as well. All right. So if you look right here, here we have it here. Okay. So I have Acuity set up. Acuity is like Calendly and Schedule Once and Time Trade. It's a scheduling software so my clients can get on my calendar. And what happens here is they can just book time with me. Now, when they go to book time with me, 2 things are probably happening. They're saying, oh, this is so easy. I love this. And then they're thinking, I need this, right? So you set this up for them. There's lots of examples of that. Setting up subscribe right here on my website. That tells my clients I know how to set that up, or I know someone who does, right? So there's lots of different things. Now, when it comes to getting paid, I use the debit card system, which we talk about a lot in the VA Connection. And there's tons of information about that on the blog if you're interested in learning more. And so when my clients go to my website, they buy my time, they put their credit card in, they see how easy the process is. Many of them think, I need to take credit cards. I wonder if Belinda can do that. You bet, because they've already seen the process and they've seen, how they walk through it. And there are just many examples of this just on my website and all over my business. And it looks like someone from Jamaica has joined us. That's exciting. All right, so let's move this out of the way. I'd love to hear questions or comments about this. What do you think? What's going through your head as I talk about this? All right. Now, so here's the premise that I want you to think about. In the beginning, you're going to have more time than work, even if you have a job. If you have a full-time job, you're going to have the time that you would work with clients on the nights and weekends, lunch hours, things like that, to turn this side hustle into, whatever you want it to be. And so I want you to really focus on taking care of your business. What does my business need? Because here's the thing, most of my clients, so I'm running a business as a virtual assistant. When someone's running a business as a financial planner or a marketing consultant or a nutritionist, so many things, The actual work is different. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a marketing consultant. I'm a VA. But what happens in their business is so much the same. They need a good website. They need testimonials. They need to be able to, accept payment. They likely need an email newsletter. There's so many of these things that can build your business, build a foundation. And then when someone says to me, I want to grow my business, and I say, well, do you do an email newsletter? And they say, no, but I've thought about it. I say, let me show you mine. Let me show you some of my clients. Okay. Good, good, good. So let's say, Karen says, what are your thoughts about using character references if you're just starting out in your business and haven't had a client yet? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. That is such a great question, Karen. If you look on my testimonials page on my Rocket Girl website, all of those people are not Rocket Girl clients, but I hadn't thought about it as a character witness, but yeah, a character reference. Absolutely. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see Julia Beck. She was a publicist that I hired. And it says that in the testimonial. I worked with Belinda. David Harris, that testimonial, I had a job and he was a consultant that came in and I worked really closely with him. I asked him for a testimonial. Elaine Hackney, she's one of my friends. I helped her with her business. She wrote me a testimonial. So it doesn't have to only be people who have paid you as a virtual assistant, right? So you can get testimonials from people in your past. If I had a testimonial from one of my managers years ago, but when I had my jobs, the last time I had a job, LinkedIn wasn't really a thing. So we didn't think about that, but I could easily have reached out to her even now and have her write a testimonial. So yes, absolutely. Yes. Good. I'm glad you like the ideas. That's awesome. Yes. Now, okay. All right. I can't wait to get all the pieces set up so I can start working. You can start working before. What I want you to do is in the cracks of time, because I want you to spread the word to everybody. And if you guys don't know about this, starting on Monday, I'm going to show you, we're going to have the VA Client Kickstart Challenges kicking off at noon on Monday. I'm going to teach you how to get a steady stream of clients into your business. Okay. So put it on your calendar, sign up at hold on. What is it? I'm looking on my wall, vachallenge.info. I have all these URLs on my wall, vachallenge.info. Sign up, go into the pop-up Facebook group. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to show you specifically how to get the clients in your business. Because when you have clients in your business, that's a great time to get things set up because you're setting things up. And I know you guys want to be prepared ahead of time, but some things you just can't really prepare for ahead of time. It's like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. So there might be a little scrambling in the beginning, but that's okay. It's exciting, right? It's exciting. So yes, so sign up for that. I loved your layout for the tasks. For that reason, organized and easy to read. So I also did that. Good, good. Yeah, you guys, look at what I've done. Be inspired by it. Start from using it. Every time I finish something that took me time to figure out, it's such a great feeling and boosts my confidence to actually offer it as a service. Yes, 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 yes. That's exactly right. That's exactly what we want to have happen. And that still happens to me today. I'll be working on something on my business or for a client, and I just get so excited because I think, oh my gosh, like for example, Carrie McWhorter, she's figuring out how to do a quiz. A client asked me to do that a few years ago, actually a long time ago, and I did it with her. I had no idea what I was doing. Of course, it feels uncomfortable and uncertain and all the things, but on the other side of that, I was high-fiving myself all over the place because I worked with her and did a quiz, and now I understood how the software worked. So that's going to happen all the time. So that's why I want to make sure that that you're looking at your services page on a regular basis and making sure, anytime you do something new, oh, I could add that, right? Good. So Debbie loves this. That's awesome. Good morning, Heather and Carrie. It's a big project. Yeah, doing a quiz is a big project. I will say the way that you're doing it is much bigger because I didn't write the content and I just put the words in the software and figured the software out. Carrie is looking at really mastering the whole concept. And this is a really great example, right? So Carrie was interested in this. She heard a podcast about it. She thought it was cool. She decided to investigate it. She's been working on it for a while. I don't know, like a month, maybe a little bit longer. But the thing is that she's learning. It's enjoyable. She's building her skill and she's going to use it to build her own business. So do you see how smart that is? Really, really smart. So that's how I want you to think about your business as well. What does my business need? What could I do to make my business stronger and better? And then you can show that to clients. So in that way, what you're doing, I've seen on the internet people saying you need a portfolio. I don't know how you build that if you don't have any clients, unless you do it this way. Your portfolio is your newsletter. Your portfolio is your website. Your portfolio, and even if you're a graphics person, your portfolio is your logo. It's the starburst on the website. It's all of the different graphical elements that are on your website. And yes, you can have a page that shows work that you've done, absolutely, with logos as you grow, or whatever it is that you design. Even links to websites that you've built, for sure. That's on my website as well. So it's just more fun and relaxing to think about your own business. And I do really think it makes us feel smarter, like, oh yeah, my business looks great. I'm proud of it. It's solid. Everything works. And I am a living example for my clients. And I think it builds a lot of respect as well. When clients see me consistently producing my newsletter, they see me, publishing it on social media. They see me in all the different places in a professional way, thoughtful way. And the consistency is the key, because when they see me publish again and again and again, it builds trust. It builds trust. All right, you guys, this was awesome. Thank you for coming. I want to make sure, now I mentioned this, but I want to make sure that you mark your calendars. Monday, I keep saying September, January 16th, we're kicking off with the VA Client Kickstart Challenge. If you've signed up before and you've done it, come again. If you signed up before and you couldn't make it, come again. It's open to everybody. I'm really excited. We're going to have all kinds of bonuses and surprises. And right now, the Facebook group is popping. It is totally popping. We have almost 900 people in the group right now. And in that group, there is not competition. There are people who want to have successful VA businesses like you, so you don't have to do it alone, okay? So if you're feeling isolated and like you don't know what to do next, you don't know what to do first, come on down. There's also a Q&A session every single day. No matter what your question is, I'll do my best to answer it for you, okay? Great. Okay, Tammy, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hello, Dana. Yes, I'll have a great day for sure. And yeah, the challenge is a great refresher, 100%. All right, you guys, go rock your week. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.